Hey, I'm Rutledge.
Hey, I'm Connor.
And we're Friends Stream Sports. We're real friends who talk about real sports in real time, and we just wanted to be on time for everybody out there. So, had to come in a little early. You're going to see a little bit behind the scenes, behind the sports. If you haven't played Madden 20 before, this is what the menus look like. But hey, we're here. Connor, how are you?
Rutledge, we're doing well. It's nice and steamy down here in Central Florida, but as the summer heat and sun wears on, there comes a point where, just like a mirage far off in the distance, you can see the end of the dog days of summer and the beginning of a lot of great sports action.
Definitely a lot of great sports action going on. Especially unrelated news. Getting ready. The Liga MX versus MLS quarterfinals are on a little bit. Got a little Sporting KC versus Club Leon and
the new
Sounders
Leagues Cup.
Tigers UANL. Oh God, that's a misfortunate spelling.
It's Tigres, not Tigers, but that's okay.
First ding of the night. There's the bell. He rung it in.
Ring that bell.
Did you get my game invite?
I did. It's loading right now.
Fantastic.
We are loading.
I'm going to where?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do we want to play? I know we're playing Madden, but what
we're gonna do a little tribute to the Hall of Fame quarterback. Stole the show this weekend at Hall of Fame weekend, Peyton Manning. So I'm going to be the Broncos, and you're going to be the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow, so we're doing this thing where the loser gets to pick which team the winner from the previous week is?
You asked the question, I gave the answer.
And for all those who might not know, that's what went down.
That's exactly what went down.
You know what went down today, Rutledge, was a lot of interesting NFL training camp stuff has gone down so far.
There's been a lot of stuff, and ironically, it starts with, in my mind, the Indianapolis Colts, because who's hurt? Carson Wentz is hurt. There's been a couple injuries in training camp, but to me, maybe not surprising that he's hit by the injury bug. Still, but very big deal that he gets to Colts camp and gets hurt. So that one kind of stings.
Just like his foot. His foot kind of stings as well. Now, when that first came out, and I guess also Quentin Nelson has a very similar injury to Carson Wentz. And, when that first came out, I was actually in France jogging along the Seine and was able to get my workout in, and they kind of said, at the end of the practice day, Carson Wentz came off, a little sore on his foot. They're going to get an MRI. Shouldn't be all that bad. And boy, were the talking heads wrong. Boy, was everything wrong based off of all that. But should we be surprised?
I really don't think we should be surprised anymore. And I feel bad because this is going to make Carson Wentz make small college football players look bad. Of course, some small college football players are fantastic, but it's just not going well for him.
No, that's so true. He came in having a big first season. One of the things that they're saying about Carson Wentz is that a lot of these injuries actually go back to different injuries when he was a child. So you're getting a lot of injuries that are kind of lingering, things like that. So we'll see what happens. Who do you think could potentially fill in for Carson Wentz at the beginning of the season?
Anyone at this point. They're going to need some help there in Indy. He was kind of a big pull for them because they no longer have Phillip Rivers. So it's kind of an open competition right there for them.
Old man Rivers.
I don't have a big pick of who it's going to be for them yet. And I didn't think about, okay, now that he's out, I don't think they know what they're going to do. but I just know that it's a big deal. You hate to see that happen when a team signs someone in the sense of trying to make things better. Um, Ironically, though, even though Wentz is no longer an Eagle, the Philadelphia Eagles are not gung-ho to be naming Jalen Ramsey right now QB1.
I would not want to name Jalen Ramsey QB1 either, especially seeing as he plays cornerback.
I knew I was getting that one wrong.
But Jalen Hurts, he's also kind of banged up right now as well. So he's got some injury pieces to go through. There are some quarterbacks that are definitely struggling here at the beginning of the season. Zach Wilson, did you kind of follow him? Him at with the Jets scrimmage. Did you kind of see what happened there?
Connor, tell the people, because I feel like I'm going to get a third ding by the fourth quarter. Like, at this point, you might as well just score a touchdown. And here it comes.
There's the tutty. We're getting close here. Jacoby Brissett, 2 for 2, 52 yards, some good balance. Zach Wilson came out through 2 picks in sort of a green and white scrimmage game, which, he definitely looked pretty tough. It was his coach. His coach definitely came out and tried to, encourage and kind of keep it positive and things like that. But at the end of the day, you're the number 2 pick. We are in a time period where things are so involved, and guys coming out of college have such a grasp on things that you really shouldn't be. If you're a number 2 pick, you should be coming out of the chutes firing.
So was he picked too high?
Potentially, yeah. I think obviously only time will tell, right? Josh Allen was definitely not probably the number 1 quarterback that you would have thought from his 2018 class. And if you were like me and really liked Sam Darnold, you kind of thought he was going to be the stud. And Josh Allen just had the literal Brinks truck backed up into his house. So might have been drafted too high. Time will tell. It is very early, but signs and returns right now are not looking too hot for Zach Wilson.
No, and I would agree with, it's okay to be a little bit conservative on that one. I thought when they picked him number 2 that when it was, we did our draft show talking about like this is the next quarterback up, I really didn't think that was such. Who I saw that was an injury, which 2 injuries for me that I saw out there that I think are big deals. First is Lutz over in the Saints is hurt. You think, well, kicker, but Will Lutz has got a core injury, and considering there's probably still a couple question marks still in how good they're going to be in New Orleans, because Michael Thomas has been a little mean on social media, and Sean Payton doesn't want to comment. That when you don't have a good core kicking game to help you win some of those like 3-point games against Atlanta.
Touchdown.
The slant never fails. It's like tails. But to me, with seeing Lutz hurt, that to me just feels like a bad omen for New Orleans, because you got to have your kicking game right. If there's anything we've learned in our first year of Friend Stream Sports, the kicking game matters, and I think it's going to be a little bit bigger of an impact. It's not a season-ending. Everything is broken. I'm sure they'll find someone to fill that role. But he's been one of the better kickers in the league. So that might feel like an underrated story out there. But to me, I think it's worth noting.
Well, of course, as it relates to the New Orleans Saints, especially in a year like this, they're going to need to have that margin is just getting tighter and tighter, right? No Drew Brees. Jameis Winston, who knows how many picks he's going to throw. Who knows if Taysom Hill's going to be starting, what that situation is going to look like. So whenever especially your quarterback situation is not key and doing good, I mean, points are always at a premium in the NFL. I think, what was it, week 1, the average score last year was like 29-27. So, there are weeks where the average score is under a field goal of separation in that game. So points are always at a premium, but being able to really come out and do that well, I just made your cornerback there really struggle, and I'm going to run out of bounds before I get crushed and fumble the ball. Jacoby Brissett with the wheels.
The wheels. Speaking of the wheels, give a shout out to Steven the Steady is here once again watching the show tonight, Connor. So
hello, Steven. So yeah, I mean, we've got, I think NFL training camp is really starting out pretty well. I think the big quarterback story is Trey Lance. Have you been following any of what Trey Lance is happening with him?
Of course I have, but you got to tell the people.
So, Trey Lance has really been coming out hot in training camp. He's got a full-blown quarterback battle that he's worked himself into apparently with Jimmy Garoppolo. And there's questions right now of, should the San Francisco 49ers look to move Jimmy G because Trey Lance has been playing so good. Jimmy G still has some value and could probably still, catch some value within the scheme and system, especially if there's a team like the Eagles that has an injured quarterback. But, it's we'll see what happens because we can have another rookie quarterback starting here in the western half of the country.
The NFC West continues to be a massively stacked division. If there's one quarterback who joined the NFC West get that pick. Oh, I thought we had that, and then I thought you had it. There's one quarterback you're not going to be seeing this preseason, and that is Matt Stafford. If you didn't follow Sean McVay out there, he has been very insistent that his big starters won't play in preseason. He would rather get some of his lower-tier dudes some reps, get those guys out there, but he's been very out there saying you're not going to see him as long as he's the coach of the Rams. So
that's a very Sean McVay thing, though. I don't think, if I remember correctly, he didn't play his guys last year at all during preseason, also. So, not surprising.
No, very normal for him.